Hey, welcome back. We are live again, live from AUSI Exponential 2022 here in Orlando, Florida. And we have another guest, another partner of ours. And yeah, I would like to welcome Andreas, founder and CEO of Drone Rescue Systems.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Thanks for joining us. And so we were talking to different guests from different areas of the ecosystems. We also talked about this morning, how like great it is to not only have like the drone manufacturers, but also a lot of different partners. And I think this is it is definitely a first time we talk to a parachute manufacturer who adds their products into the ecosystem. So Andreas, tell us a little bit about Drone Rescue Systems. Tell us a little bit about your products, please.
Yes, thank you very much. Basically what we're doing is we develop completely autonomous, lightweight, non-ballistic parachute solution.
All right.
And the idea behind it is it should work like the seatbelt or the airbag in the car. Hopefully, if you have an accident, it works perfectly well, but you don't want to use it all the time. So it is really the safety aspect you need if something happens.
It's kind of ironic, right? Because you're creating a product that probably everybody should have, but nobody wants to use it,
yeah.
right?
Exactly. But that's the right approach, because the reason why it's so important for us to be the lightest parachute solution on the market is because the customer really wants to focus on its own business application.
Right.
He wants to focus on the lighter equipment or on the drone delivery package, but not on, I have a very heavy drone parachute on board. And what we're doing is, the reason why we can be the lightest parachute solution as well is because the way we eject the parachute is we don't use a ballistic, pyrotechnical or spring approach. Our system works like a catapult mechanism. So basically like a slingshot everybody played with as a child, maybe a little bit more sophisticated than that, but that's the basic approach. So the customer can reuse it very easily. And it's very important that we always think a couple of steps further. We are not just a parachute solution itself. We deal a lot with the data. We support our customers heavily. And for example, we have a geofencing functionality. So if the drone would have a flyaway, you can set a corridor up front. And if the drone would fly away, the parachute would open. So we're always thinking a couple of steps further. And we have here 3 of our products. Those are mainly for multicopters, the DRS-10, DRS-15, DRS-25. Those are for drones with a maximum takeoff weight until 10, 15, and 25 kilograms.
Okay.
And we talk about 3, 4, and 600 grams in total.
All right.
So we are by far the largest solution in general.
Okay. So you really minimize the overhead of having this additional security measure.
Exactly.
Okay, so you mentioned it. It's mainly about reducing risk, right?
Yes.
So your end customers, the people who buy those, what are the main reasons or motivation behind adding this like extra weight to their drones?
Various reasons. The one hand are of course safety for bystanders on the ground or physical goods.
Right.
Protection for very expensive equipment, and to get the permission and waivers to fly either beyond visual line of sight or people. So that's very important. So I think the industry where it's heading is that this will be obligated to have. And if you look at different kind of frameworks all over the world, often a parachute is already written inside. If you want to, for example, fly over people or beyond visual line of sight, or on a construction site, for example, you need to have a parachute. And it's, as mentioned before, I compare it with the airbag and seatbelt in the car. In the 70s, you didn't have them. Now you can't buy a car without a seatbelt.
Right. Okay, so those products are in the market for quite some time. So you have people using it, but now basically you decided to also integrate with your Therian platform with your product. So what were the main reasons or the motivation to do that for you?
We are very hands-on when it comes to supporting our customers. So we are supporting nearly every kind of level where the customer needs us. And the good thing with our solution in general is that they have various interfaces. So it's very easy to integrate the solution from platforms. And the reason why it's so important for us to work with you guys together is because you set the standards with setting standards. And that's really important for the industry itself, that it can really fulfill its whole potential.
Right.
And a lot of our clients, you see them here at the exhibition. If you look around, you see a lot of parachutes from ours on different kind of booths there, which makes us quite proud. They use a Skynote or a Pixhawk. And they basically want to have a reliable, trustworthy plug-and-play solution. And that's very important because it doesn't make sense if everybody cooks his own soup. Everybody should work together and find a standard procedure to really have a reliable overall solution.
Which then makes it also more efficient in terms of having different solutions at the same time working with the same accessories.
Exactly.
Right?
So, for example, we're now involved in a big drone delivery project. Currently, for example, if you want to upload a new firmware on our systems, you need to put in a SD card in the computer, upload a new firmware, and put it back in the system. Now, thanks to Therian, it's possible to do it remotely. So at the same time, you can upload the firmware on hundreds, thousands of units. So it doesn't matter. And the customer has the other advantage as well, that on the ground control station, he can have a maintenance and a status of the parachute itself. So that's really beneficial. So he has all the information he needs to do a proper job in the field.
Right. Okay. And you were mentioning before that you saw a lot of drones carrying your product. So I also saw one particular one and standing behind you.
Yes.
So it's also integrated on the Prism Sky from Watts Innovations. We talked to Bobby Watts yesterday. We quickly mentioned your system, but of course I also want you to give the opportunity to talk a little bit about the collaboration between you and Bobby Watts on that particular product.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about that is that he builds amazing drones. And he has the same philosophy like you have and like we have, where we want to work on specific standards. And if you want to integrate something after you already built a drone, it's very important that you have a standard you can work to. And that's where we really helped him. And the biggest feedback from him was that, cool, the first unit, I just plugged it in and it simply worked.
That's what we want to hear,
exactly,
right?
That's what you want to hear. So that's a big thing. And he's involved in a lot of very, very interesting projects. And we are very proud because this is the DRS-25 and really gives his customers the opportunity to make very interesting, important missions and have the reliable safety on board as well.
Yeah, and he told us that he tried it several times and he didn't lose a vehicle so far.
Exactly. So we saw the videos and we were always super proud. And of course, it's always nerve-wracking still when I see a parachute where we want to do some tests. I know they're working 100%. So they're really reliable. But I'm still, as a CEO, I'm like, please. But now we're super confident with our solution. And we're really proud of that.
All right, so from your partnerships, but also from your end customers and your observation from the industry, what are the current trends that you see that also influence your business or in general the drone industry?
Yeah, I mean, what definitely changed is before there were a lot of Chinese companies out there. And when we addressed, we always had generic solutions where a drone manufacturer could come to us, but we were really focusing on the classical number one in the market regarding sales. And that definitely changed in the last 1-2 years. So we were working more with different kind of drone manufacturers together, and Skynote, Pixog is really what they're looking for, especially Skynote. And that definitely changed. And what we are seeing is that we have a lot of drone delivery companies that we're working with, and a lot of first response companies. And before we were more with the LiDAR industry working together, which is still very important, thanks to the very expensive and valuable equipment. But what we see is definitely the trend to real business application with high volumes. Therefore, you need this standardized process and the reliable solutions. But also what we see is that things are getting smaller, and you see the trend that what a drone that was having 50 kilogram takeoff weight, now the same thing can be done with a drone that has 7 or 10 kilograms. And that's why we are so proud and focusing on having not just the smartest solution and best possible solution in this regard, but also the lightest possible parachute solution.
Very good. So if we take a glimpse into the future, let's look at the next 6 or 12 months. Anything that you can talk about that we can expect coming from drone rescue systems?
A lot of things will be announced quite soon, but we're definitely involved in, as mentioned before, in a lot of drone delivery projects with very interesting things going on.
Okay.
We're working more and more with VTOLs and fixed wing solutions. We already have some integration on different kind of rotor wings. Of course, for VTOLs or fixed wing, the solutions often look a little bit different than you see here. Those are normally more for multicopters, but we will bring out a couple of new products, and what was definitely one of the main focuses is to really work much closer with you guys together and provide much more convenience to our customers and try to be as good as a partner for the whole Therian network.
Exciting. Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to doing more business and more projects and innovation with you. Thank you so much for joining us. So this was Andreas, founder and CEO, of Therian Rescue Systems. Thanks for being here. And we will be back online very soon with our next partner, and I'll see you then.